Finally, our third opening commentator is Stefano Bertuzzi. Stefano, known well to many of us, is currently the Chief Executive Officer of the largest single life science professional society in the world, which is the American Society for Microbiology. Stefano has a distinguished career prior to his arrival at ASM. In particular, he worked in the Office of the Director at NIH, where he promoted a number of very important policy-relevant issue areas, including the peer review system and public access policy. Stefano, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, David. And I am delighted to be here with you today at the opening of this, what sounds going to be a great meeting. And I'm actually very proud to say that ASM has been a sponsor and has been contributing financially to the support of the Forum for Microbial Threats since the very, very beginning. Actually, shy of 1 year. It was established in '96, and we started supporting it since '97. Hope you'll forgive us for that gap year. But most importantly, I think ASM has contributed to this forum not just financially, but with our most valuable resource, which is the intellectual thrust of our 50,000 members present in 122 countries, and many of you are sitting at this table. I'm proud to say that Dr. Relman is actually also chair of our most important meeting, the ASM Microbe. So I think your role is really, really important, and even more at this time where we're looking at a group of experts that actually help craft policies that are based on evidence, that are based not on feelings, not on speculations, and let alone ideology. And so what you're doing here is really, really important for the nations, for the world. So I'd like to use a few of my minutes to tell you about what ASM has been doing in this space and what we are planning to do, because we'll look at your report with great interest to influence our initiatives, and most of all, hopefully what we're doing also can help you in your deliberations. So ASM has deep expertise in this area. Since 2006, the ASM Laboratory Capacity Strengthening LabCap program has strengthened laboratory capacity throughout the world. And this has been both for HIV, TB, malaria, and general microbiology in 23 resource-limited countries across sub-Saharan Africa, Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia. The program was reviewed by, at that time, the Institute of Medicine in 2013 as a part of the PEPFAR review. And this strengthening part of the program was one of the top-ranked programs by the review of the Academies. So we're very proud of this. So through funding from CDC, and very nice to see here Rima Kabatz, thank you for the CDC support for all this, USAID, thank you Dennis, and all the others. ASM has leveraged the vast global network that we have, as I mentioned before, through PEPFAR, the President's Malaria Initiative, and the Global Health Security Agenda, and more recently with the Global Health Security Agenda. And over the years, ASM has trained more than 3,000 workshop participants in emerging infectious diseases, and we have mentored over 300 laboratory staff throughout the world, and benefiting close to something like 1,000 institutions in 23 countries. We're very, very proud of these numbers, really on the ground all around the world. Through these activities, ASM has brought people together and facilitated communications, both within experts and with the general public. So one of our goals is to talk both to the director and to the moms. And this is clearly very, very important. And we truly want to be that physical and digital forum for the microbial sciences, that hub of information, trusted and authoritative. And these programs have been fundamental to achieving this. I also want you to know that ASM has been advocating in this past few months or month very, very actively to tackle emerging biothreats. And we've been very engaged during this presidential transition time, both with the President Trump transition team and also in putting out a document which makes like 3 high-level recommendations for the new administration. And one of these is the establishment of an emergency fund for biothreats. We don't know what the next threat is going to be, but we just know that there's going to be one. And so far, we have been replicating and trying to reinvent the wheel every time. And so we really think that why not be prepared? And I think the example of the finding money for the Zika epidemic is really a good example of why we need to do things differently. Communications is key to all these activities. ASM has recently established the Antimicrobial Resistance Coalition to facilitate communication among agency, nonprofit, and various sectors. And we take the One Health approach that brings together various environmental, zoonotic, and human components because we're all part of the same ecosystem. And concretely through this activity, ASM is planning the next few months to convene the health attaché from the embassies present here in Washington to offer our support and our help for the national action plans that the various countries will be developing. So really want to put our expertise at service of the various community. Also, important for you to know that early next year, ASM would launch a new digital platform. I see that you have on your agenda social media and online activities. It's going to be called MicroNow, and this platform will feature several online communities interested and focused on various topics. One of these topics, one of these communities will be specifically on biothreats. And the vision for this is that in today's world, where we have a deluge of information, some of that is really good, some of that is really bad, some of that is really ugly, and some of it is outright fake. And we think that the role of a professional society like ASM is that of creating that forum of authoritative information for everyone to be able to understand what needs to be read, what is worth, and having opinion of experts like you that validate the information. So we will establish also a faculty of ASM that will be selecting the information that go on this online community, will be commenting, and will jumpstart this worldwide forum for biothreats that we hope all of you will contribute and will be interested in participating. Also, we will, part of this, we will launch a new online magazine called Germ Theory, which has the goal of gelling the community around these issues, again, as an online tool. This magazine will complement the paper magazine that we have, which is called Cultures and distributed all over the world as well. And also our meeting dedicated to these topics, which was called Biodefense, and from this year is called Biothreats. So I hope that you're aware of all the wealth of information that ASM has, and most of all, as I said at the beginning, I really look forward to hearing what your recommendations are, what your thoughts are in this area. We'll be very happy to incorporate them in our activities, and most of all, we'll be delighted to engage you in these activities that we're planning, especially on this digital forum for microbial threats and that we are developing. So thank you very much, and I wish you a very productive day and a half of work. Thank you.